what are the most significant challenges you face in transforming organizational culture and leadership?
It's like the answer would be the reverse of the previous answer. The thing that that it is very difficult in some companies to truly connect leadership and learning and development. I was referring to it a little bit earlier. So many companies, we have the leadership. They know what goals we want to reach. They have the plan. The top leadership has the plan. Most of the time, they also know what capabilities, competencies we need in a company to reach that map or reach those goals. And we who work with learning and development, we know what to teach to have those capabilities and competencies, because a lot of that is not new recruits and new employees. It is developing existing workforce. We know what to teach. We also know how to teach it to the different target groups and so we are good at creating good courses. And when people talk about, I have heard it so many times, even the Kirkpatricks are teaching it, that these are the two sides of the river, you need to bridge it. And I was referring to it a little bit earlier, that in my world, it is not about bridging, because then you're still standing on the two different sides. And it was during the time I was once explaining it to someone, so all credits to the Kirkpatricks, because if I hadn't been talking about it, then I wouldn't have realized that you're still then on the two different sides. You need to bring these two sides together, and so we can teach the right things, or we can create the right courses and create the right curriculums and create the right learning strategies and everything. And we are also getting feedback, and very many times when these two are not even bridged, and definitely not connected, in a nice boat or whatever on the river, I don't care. It could be whatever, but when they are not connected, then we see that the results are not being reached. The people are not doing what we would like them to do. So something must be wrong with the course.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the times, that is the biggest mistake, to go ahead and change your course or throw out that course and start a new course. What many companies fail to check is the connection between learning and development and the line management, or if you work in agile, it's the product management, or whoever who can influence the learner's life before and after the course. What I mean is that the course may have been perfect. The skills that they have learned are exactly the skills they need to learn. But they come back and they cannot put it into practice because they learned the skills a half a year before the system was in place, because they learned the skills but nobody is listening to them, because they learned the skills but they have to take care of a backlog of this much before they can actually start to practice the skills. I mean, you're hearing all the issues, yes? So learning and development and leadership connecting on as high as possible so that the changes can be rolled out, and also even on the direct manager level, so the direct managers actively help the learner to put the skills into practice. And even following up, even just asking once a month in their one-on-ones, if they have one-on-ones every week, every other week, once a month, just ask hey, you were at that course and these are the skills you were gonna, and these are the changes you were gonna make. How is that going? And what is the next step? Just bring this coaching attitude as a leader, but be knowledgeable, not only aware, but be knowledgeable of what courses your people are going to and why. Could I just add something to that before we jump to the next
Sure.
question? You mentioned that if they are, I think you said oblivious, or if they don't know, if they don't know what the people are doing and what they are learning. But I think many leaders, they do know. They
Hmm.
just either don't have the time because they have so little time to follow up with people, so they focus on the to-do list or the
Hmm.
conflicts that are going on, because that's like the immediate, the urgent problems. But then we come back again to leadership. What's important? This is also important. And also, I think many times leaders just go, well, obviously they have been to a course, so they are doing what they are supposed to do. So I think it's just a bit more attention. And again, if we tell the leaders why, let's go back to that. If we tell the leaders why, I believe that it's going to be easier for them to make the time and the energy to bring this all together, to be able to create great changes.
For anybody who's not actually intentionally just stealing from the company, uh, dollars a year in savings for thousands or tens of thousands of dollars in turnover costs. And it's because the narrative brought out by being concerned about these trivial expenses are fundamentally saying, we don't trust you and we don't think you're competent without being micromanaged in
Yeah,
things that are, like I said, one more thing on the plate. So
yeah.
I hear you
And
there.
and also it is very surprising, because surprising for a lot of leaders and HR, that I actually bring that into the conversation when it comes to learning and development. I don't remember the numbers, but it was around half of the workforce asked in a huge study in the US. I can look that up for you, if you want to add that link. The people were asked, do you want do you develop yourself continuously on your job? Yes. And then half of the people who were asked, they don't get the courses or the development opportunities from their company. So they are
Hmm.
paying for it themselves from their own pocket, using their own vacation time for it. So I'm asking, how motivated are they to stay at the company?
Hmm.
Seriously. As soon as another company says, as Amy Edmondson again, learning is working, and here you are, if this is the development possibility, then we pay your program and you take half of it or all of it on work time. So half of your workforce is ready to leave for another company, and that's your turnover cost. I was just creating an impact report for together with a coach, with a leadership coach at a organization, which is stately run. So they still have a bottom line, but it's a different kind of thing than a profit driven company. And we didn't have a lot of data, but we knew from an interview that two people decided that they are not leaving. One was the coachee, and one was the coachee's direct report, that they are not going to hand in their resignation and they are not leaving. Two people. With that two people not costing turnover cost, the company earned or earned back the price of the coaching manifolds. And we didn't even have more data, just this.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what it takes, right? I've seen different figures, but most of them seem to say The cost of replacing, especially an experienced employee, is usually at least 50 to 100% of their annual wages.